Welcome, welcome everyone to the 57th edition of the Home Theater Hub, a day after Christmas. Right?
Yep.
So
Yes.
we'll call it a Christmas edition. So what's
Yep.
going on, Ike? How are you, sir?
I am doing good. Survived Christmas. So we made it to the day after Christmas and it was a great time. So happy to be on the show.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we did the same. We survived also. Christmas during the week is rough, man. I mean, you only get the one day, right? And you're running
Yep.
around to multiple places and everything, and then the build up before that is, you know, if you're like me, I did all my Christmas shopping over the weekend,
Yeah.
so uh, did all that stuff. But yeah, no, it's just one day is just draining, So, what's going on, Eric? How are you, sir? Welcome
I'm
back.
good, man. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I went and got a signed autographed jersey for my wife for Christmas, and it was supposed to be shipped. I'm a planner, so it was supposed to be shipped weeks in advance. The guy dropped out when he realized because of the holidays, the shipping was crazy expensive. So I found one last minute, and here in Dallas, it was pouring rain on not Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and I found a guy that drove out, met me in the pouring rain just to deliver it. So we had a Christmas miracle.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was a good day.
What was the jersey?
Is JJ Watt, Texas
Okay.
fan.
Oh,
Oh.
We're from
okay.
Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, not
Long,
bad.
long as it, long as it's not the other Watt that's on the Steelers, we're okay.
Yeah. I was hoping it
What's
wasn't a Dak Prescott jersey too. So
I was waiting
that
to
is
get
not
the
what going outside in the rain.
no, it's not. No, I would not be doing that. But
I will say I will
we're
say
not
my
gonna talk.
Ravens looked pretty good yesterday on Christmas Day. So
That's I was waiting for that, dude.
yeah,
We're not talking about that.
that
That
that was an embarrassment, is what that was.
that was an embarrassment. I think it. I mean, it's not. It's like a football podcast. I think my team is done for the year after Tank Dell's stuff. We don't need to get into that as a downer, but hey,
Yeah,
Paul.
yeah. What's going on, Paul? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, doing good. Chrome was acting up, so I couldn't join for some reason.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh,
Better late than never with your Super Mario shirt on.
Yep.
yeah, man.
Oh, look at this. We got a bottle of wine today. We don't even have he just went straight for the bottle instead of the can.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so
What, you couldn't
today,
find anything, any fruits in the can? Oh, Josh, that's a good one.
so
Is that
anyways,
red? Is that a red wine?
yes,
Yep.
it's I think it's oh, it's just a red blend. I thought it
Oh,
was a
okay.
Malbec, but it's just a red blend.
Yeah, I don't usually do reds. I
So
like whites, like white wine, Moscato or
Sweet
Pinot.
stuff.
Yeah, the sweet stuff.
yeah, my favorite is the Sirocco Moscato. As far
Is
as
that bottle already empty, Paul?
It
it's
sounded like
down
it.
there, yeah. I mean, there's a couple glasses still left. Merry
Paul's on
Christmas,
vacation.
Happy New Year, man.
Merry
You know,
Christmas.
yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, you about to be a fun show tonight. But yeah, quick shout out to the chat with Kevin, who's joining us from Sweden
Oh,
at
nice.
3:30 in the morning. Wow, thank you. You're on vacation, so you should probably be getting some good rest. But thank you for joining us. C Big, thanks
What's going
for
on, Chuck? Chuck got his early Christmas present a couple days before Christmas. I know Youth Man was over there. We were talking about that last week. Got
yep.
that nice JTR upgrade over there. So anxious to hear about what his thoughts are after having them in the room for a week or so. And
Yeah. Has he turned it down yet? That's the question. Has he turned the bass down yet?
So Kevin, you asked, do we have a topic of the week? I mean, we really don't plan a whole lot unless we have a home theater guest, like we have Eric one today. Actually, I dropped the long-awaited video from Eric's home theater tour. So yeah, so we unless we have a guest, we like to go by the seat of our pants and just you know, whatever whatever we find, like, can dig into, whatever the guys dig into and find. Sometimes I'll do, like, I don't know, 15 minutes of research before or 20 minutes of research before the show,
You were
but
just marketing us really,
not
really bad.
not to no, I mean, look, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna tell the truth. We don't do a whole lot of planning. We just talk, and wherever the conversation takes us, that's where we go.
Yeah, but I think it's mostly by design, right? We want to be able to cover as much as is out there when we're not doing a home theater tour. But yeah, if there's any particular topics of interest that you have, I think we're more than capable enough to be able to do that.
Oh, sure.
The challenge with topics is you really want to know what you're talking about. You want to be prepared, right? You don't want to I don't want to go discuss an entire topic of something I read in a home theater forum, right? On Facebook, right? And then have my opinions be some other random stuff. But yeah, if there's a particular area of interest you want us to cover, yes, let us know. Put it in the chat. We're pretty sure we'll discuss it. Or we'll get the right guest on the show to help us cover it.
Right, correct. Yeah, I mean, like, we've had Kaleidoscape, we've had Our Evolution, we've had theater design companies. Those we know what we're going to talk about. And same thing with the home theater tour. Usually we go around the horn a little bit and find out how everyone's week happened and if they watched anything. And of course, we got to hit on what Paul's drinking now. So that there is somewhat of a format, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that we have a very loose format. It's what you've been up to, what you watching, and mostly we start that because we all love the gear and it's all fun, but I really like when people are actually using their theater. It's like, well, yeah, that's cool that you have a $2 million car in the garage that you've never driven.
Right.
It's like, well, what's the point of having that fun piece of machinery if you're not, granted, I'm not saying drive it in hail, but it's like you got to do events, etc. like that. And same thing, my personal opinion with the theater, right? It's like, if it's off in a corner and is never used, why have it? Take that money and put it somewhere else. And most of the people that we talk to and get along with, yeah, we all love the gear, but we also, use our theater, so.
Yeah. So we like to, I mean, I don't know. We ask each other questions, here and there. Like, I'm going to ask, what did you guys get for Christmas? Any home theater gear, Ike?
No. No.
Nothing at all home theater.
Nothing home theater related. Now that might change in the next couple of days.
Okay.
But yes, nothing in the house for home theater.
How about you, Eric? Did you get anything home theater related for Christmas?
Dude, I'm embarrassed. I'm doing the Corvette thing, so my wife just put money into carbon fiber for my Corvette. So no.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome.
That's a fantastic ugly Kansas City shirt that you got there.
Yeah, ugly sweater never looks so good.
I'm looking forward to that Baltimore Kansas City game. That's gonna be a game.
Yeah. We missed by a toe earlier in the year, but and that was in Kansas City too. So we're gonna have to come through Kansas City again.
I have a feeling we're probably, and I think a lot of people are this way, we might even lose our next game just because.
Oh, they're gonna sit them anyway. So
yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
you never
there's no
know.
reason.
I mean, you never know. So
Kevin says you got a pair of Dolly Skeptor 2 speakers, and it's to complete his 5.1. Congratulations! I've been wanting to hear Dolly for a long time. They have the something like the Air Motion tweeter, like the Martin Logans do. So I'm a big fan of Dolly, even though I've not heard of them. I've actually heard them in person, but I hear they're phenomenal speakers. So yeah, if I were to go in walls, I think I would go with the Dolly in walls myself. So they have a very nice in wall that I was looking at for a while. So
They've got a
But,
What are
nice.
those? The Phantoms, or what?
yeah, the Phantoms, I
Phantoms,
think.
right?
Uh-huh.
But they're
They're
custom
nice.
installed, so I don't.
They're nice, even sound to them. They're good speakers.
Yeah.
I'd have to check their in walls. I haven't seen their in walls.
Let's take a look at them. See,
Yeah.
this is exactly what I was talking about. We just go wherever, right? So we're free.
Bookshelf center, on wall, in wall. There we are. There they are.
Yeah,
Feature.
they have. I think it's part of their custom install program.
They have some really like big in walls that let's see news. Are any of you guys pulling this up, or or
Oh
am I-
yeah,
I'm
it's,
pulling it
I,
up. You got it?
got it pulled up. I just didn't.
And they're not cheap, man. These things are like, no, $6-7 grand or something.
I kind of look at in walls the way I look at a comparison between laptops and PCs. Like if you want a good in wall, you're going to pay 2 or 3 times what you're going to pay for a floor standing speaker. You know, in my opinion, same. It's just a smaller form factor. The same between a PC and a laptop. You want it smaller in a wall. You're going to pay more for something that sounds good, and those things sound good.
So apparently they have these Phantom S's, and they have
Those are awesome.
these
Yeah.
are the big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. They look great.
Yeah, the 280s are nice. But they have I believe they have a pair that have like 2 10-inch drivers. One of them's passive. One of them. Let me see if I can find that one.
Those are there's the Phantoms. There's the Phantom.
Yeah, I think the 280 is like $5 grand a piece, man.
Yeah, I
These
think that's what it
those-
is.
those
Three.
starters are not cheap.
My goodness.
Yep.
So man, they've got a lot of stuff in here. 6 ohm nominal impedance. Wow, that's a lot. So,
Yeah, these speakers are more on the known side overseas. You know, they're pretty big overseas, but we don't get a lot of.
Oh wow, look at this. This is interesting. See, I would like something like this. Yeah, or even something like that. Are these 6s or are these 10s? I wonder. I can't figure out how to.
Probably.
Oh, there it is. It says up here, 12-inch. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they have some really big ones that are like 5 feet tall too. They take
In
up the
walls?
whole- Yeah.
I
Well, that's
wonder what their
probably what
recommendations.
These
What-
were. It's just they look smaller.
What do you think the recommendation is for the like insulation in the wall? Do they have recommendations for? And I replied to
Yeah,
Kevin
look at that
about
picture.
in-wall
Go up.
subs.
Go back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the one you were talking about. It just looks
Yeah.
small. This one
Yeah.
has 2 10-inch
Mm-hmm.
drivers, 2 8-inch drivers, and the
It's got an air motion and a dome tweeter, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, that dome Twitter looks like what? Not more than 2 inches.
Go down to the
Big.
picture that they showed just a little bit below. Look how big those things are. They
Oh
look-
yeah. You're talking about the actual.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, those are
That look-
awesome.
Yeah, if you know how big that instrument is, that's
Yeah.
that's an
Yeah,
actual bass.
Go to
there.
the specification tab, just right up there.
Mhm.
I wonder.
I'm just
what-
curious if they say you have to have so much room in the space behind it in order to be able to install it. Only and
They might have a
Only
back
because of the-
box.
89 sensitivity. You're gonna need some power, man.
Yeah,
It looks like it does have some back box, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's got a
sealed,
back
so
box.
Basically, a sealed enclosure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do they? Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can tell it. That I mean, so that's why. Oh,
Yeah, those are my dream LCRs.
Oh,
Yeah.
go back to that picture. Wow. Look at the size of that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, you get to
But
see
you
how
notice
big
they
it is
still
there.
they still have floor standing subs. If you notice, though.
Well, yeah, because this thing only goes down to 44 hertz,
Yeah,
but probably
Yeah.
at a real, 112 dB.
I'm not saying they're bad speakers, and I'm just responding to Kevin's question because he was asking about in-wall subs. I've never heard a good in-wall sub.
So I have the SVS in wall 3000s. In terms of good in wall subs, they are good. The question is, you're going to need a lot of them to get the same level of pressurization, for example, that you might get from, let's say I have two of them, and I also have the PB 2000s, right? I have a pair of the PB 2000 Pros, and then I have a pair of the in-wall 3000s, right? Larger drivers, 2.9s versus the 12 or 13 in the PB 2000. But you would need probably 5 or 6 of the in-walls, I feel, to be able to just get the same level of pressurization. So I don't,
It's
just look at it like this.
basically, You're limited.
Taurus had like 12 or 13 in walls, right?
Yeah.
And then he did 4 stacked.
Mhm.
You know, he did 8 SVS 16s and 17s. You
Yeah.
know, so
You could get away with, which really technically wouldn't be in walls, but the limitation of in walls, you're dealing with basically a 3.5-inch deep
baffle, right?
enclosure,
yeah.
which automatically limits the throw of your driver.
Yeah.
And you're limited by physics. If you really wanted to do esoteric, well, and the box itself, right? Like, it's 16-inch centers in US anyways, and whatever the height of your ceiling is. So you do the basic math, you're limited to the max cubic feet, which varies of a wall space. But if you wanted to do something that was, hey, invisible, you would do 4 subs in the ceiling, and you would have to do you would install a plate, and then you would have essentially an infinite baffle
with the
attic. Then you could get down to your,
but it would have to be the attic.
it would have to be airspace would have to be much greater than what you could do in a standard 8-foot tall ceiling.
So I'm going back to like the theater room tour, right? That we were talking about with that of my room. I have never experienced anything as tactile as my room with 2 18-inch subwoofers.
Yeah,
and they're monsters, but never had that with any in-wall subwoofers.
Oh yeah,
you will probably
go down.
You will probably need 10 of those SES in-wall 3000s. Just based on my experience. So I don't think if you're a bass head, right, it would really be the WAF factor, or you just don't want subwoofers, out in the room, and then you're gonna have to get a lot of it. I think there was a time we saw a picture of someone who had this front wall of the SVS in-wall 3000s. It was almost like 15 of them to cover the entire front wall.
Yeah.
So in that kind of situation, I'm pretty sure they do well when you have 10, 15 of them just sitting there, but but outside of that, and then maybe I think they play a role in just supplementing what your in-room subwoofers have.
If you only want to listen down to like 30 hertz, in-walls are perfectly fine for most. If you get like a couple, especially if you're going for pure aesthetics, like if you're going for if you have a small office and you don't want anything intruding in the room and you're doing that's fine, but you're not going to get the home theater chase of bass, if you would, what I'm going to call it, that everybody's like, oh, I need 5 hertz.
Yeah, you're not going to get that in wall.
Unless you, because it still would be in wall, but it could be taking up your entire closet.
Yeah, Burleson will have to build you something. I think it's a DIY, and your drivers are still gonna have to be like,
Yeah,
you know,
at that point.
17.
But they're great. A lot of the in-walls, the products they're tuned specifically for that box. A lot of them have open baffles that are designed for, normally you'd want to kind of put some insulation in there to keep the rattles down. But they're good. But you also still are running into a limitation of you really have to have someone that knows acoustics, because where are you going to place those, right? You can't just, they don't sound good in this left rear corner because I have some opening over here and it's not working. I mean, you could, unless Chuck probably could, because he could just redo the drywall in 5 minutes. But everyone else is like, if you're Don, that's a 2-month project to move aside.
Now, these are the dollies that I was looking at getting if I were going to go in wall. These
Are those
375
all
Phantoms.
10-inch drivers there? Or
No, these are 7 inches.
Yeah.
These are the cheaper
And-
ones, right? I think they're like
Yeah.
1100 or so.
Yeah, they're less
Yeah,
expensive than the
I
ones
looked
that
into
were.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah, but they share the dome tweeter and the air motion tweeter also.
If you're talking in-wall subs, there's a 99% chance you're going for pure aesthetics. And that's where you
Yeah.
have to
Or
wait.
you're just supplementing whatever in room.
Yeah. There could be.
They have their place. Like I'm using mine.
I like them. I love
yeah.
a seamless room. I would love that if it was, if I built, one, I would want everything to be hidden. I would want people to walk in and be like, oh, what do you got? Like one, you wouldn't even see that there was anything except the screen on the wall. And then all of a sudden it would be like 125 decibels of, 20 hertz. And they're like, what the hell?
See, I'm the opposite. So you're the sleeper race car.
Yeah.
I'm the Corvette, because I want to just put my floor standing speakers out
And
there.
the funny
People
thing is,
walk
I'm the same way with my cars and stuff too. It's like I'm a total like, no, it's just a little Toyota,
They walk in and they just hear my car just start up, just boom. That's just different opinions.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody has their thing. I'm the opposite. I'm like, you don't even hear me until, you want to race. Oh, okay, hold on. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And they're like, what the hell? Yeah, I've raced some Tesla on my motorcycle.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a Tesla. I'm a Corvette.
Yeah. I'm like, it's more than just the equipment. You got to know how to use it.
So getting back to the question, Paul, did you get anything that home theater related?
Home theater related recently. No, not
for
Christmas. Not for Christmas.
Not for Christmas.
Yeah.
I think this is the first year that I've not gotten anything home theater related either. But I will say that I've dumped tons of money myself.
Yeah.
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 My electrician surprised me today. He sent me a text message and said, "Oh, by the way, you owe me $1,700 for the work that we've done so far." And I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. We agreed on $900. Nine something. He said, "Yeah, that was 3 years ago." I said, "You have a point, but you didn't pull any new cables. You didn't do anything else. So where's all this extra money coming from?" I can understand some inflation, but not 100% inflation.
He's like, I had to buy eggs.
So,
Yeah.
Hey,
and
you gotta eat to run cables.
And he said, "So far," and I was like, "No, wait, we got to rediscuss this." So, but yeah, no, I spent $1,700 for the remaining electricity to be ran.
How many?
So
$3,000 on carpet.
Are you buying the stuff and then having him do the label, or you getting
Everything was already pulled. Yeah, everything's done. The only thing I had to buy was like $60 worth of electrical sockets. That's it.
So-
20 amp.
How many circuits are you running, Don, to your room?
I I think I have 4 separate 20 amps, and then I have a couple 15 amps. But one thing that I added to the bill that, he didn't, I had him cut in all my lights. So he used, he lined them up and everything like that. And then for my poster TV that's going to go on the outside, I had him add like one of those boxes so I can put, because it's a frame TV, Samsung frame, so I can put the Connect box inside of that.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be hanging down somewhere.
We missed that. We missed that in the video. My frame TV in the hallway. Missed that. But anyways, how many dedicated
Did we
circuits,
not
Don?
put that?
He said
not
I
in
think
320.
420 amps,
Or
and
four?
then
Oh.
probably
Are those
3 or 4
sockets
other
or-
15 amps.
Are those sockets or dedicated circuits to your electrical panel?
They're dedicated circuits.
Oh my gosh, you're getting 7 dedicated circuits to your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's
Jeez.
wild, man. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah,
$1,700. If it is 7 dedicated circuits,
Well, like I said,
$1,700 is a bargain, dude.
right. Well, that was I'm in more than that. So I've already given them $2,000. I given them $900, 2 payments, and then there was supposed to be one last payment of $900. But like I said, he kind of upped it a little bit on me. But we're cool. We talked about it, so we're with what I added, I figured $700 was worthy of what I added, and I'm happy with the price. So I dropped that, and then I put a deposit on carpet, which is going to be like $3,000 total. The riser wood's not cheap, so that was close to like $1,500. With the wood, and I probably could have built it cheaper if I wanted to build multiple layers. 2x6s versus 2x12s, and stagger them across. And I didn't want any of the creaking though between the.
Oh wow, you're
on
doing
top of-
2x12s? That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I did 2x12s. So, and then 2 layers of decking on the top. So,
Yeah,
So you
the 2
overlap-
by 12s, you can put those in wall.
So you
subs in
overlapped
there.
the decking. You did one set on the seams, and then you
I'm going to, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that'll be pretty tight. There. Now that you might not get any movement at all. Because man, that'll be pretty sturdy. You'll be able to
Wait
drive
for
a
the
car.
invite.
Pushing it just a tiny bit back. It's unmovable at this point, and it's not even
Yeah, you can.
all the way braced to the floor. Yeah, so it's definitely rock solid. So, but
Yeah,
Wait until you get those subs in there cranking. You'll be like,
yeah.
God dang, like what? Like, I feel the floor moving. How is that possible?
Did you put some plugs in the risers, Don?
What's that?
Did you put some plugs in the risers for chairs?
Yeah. So there's 2 plugs in the front, and there's 2 plugs that I put underneath the seats because I don't want them to be seen.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's
so,
good. Don't be like me because that's something I didn't do. But
Yeah, no, all the wire is going to be underneath of the chairs. I even put like chairs up there, and I was measuring to make sure that it's going to fit between the frame of the chairs and everything else like that. So, hopefully I measured correctly. But I was talking to Paul the other day because I was asking him, how should I? Because I put all the insulation in, and then I put one piece of decking board on, which was all the way in the back, and it literally covered a lot. It's 8 foot long, right? So it covered a lot of the 13 foot of the top decking that I have, and it covered up the back portion where the wiring comes out of the wall, and I purposely ran in the center of the platform. I purposely ran wiring to come through because I ran HDMI. And I also ran Ethernet just in case I want to hook a laptop up and send test tones and stuff like that, because my rack is totally outside of my room. So I wanted to be able to run REW and send test tones and everything else back to take measurements and all that. And I put that top board on, and I was measuring the sockets and stuff like that for the other one, and I said, all right, I'll do this later. And I laid in bed, and I was like, holy shit, I forgot the future proof. And my wife was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I didn't run any speaker line for, near field." And she's like, "What are you talking about? You never told me about any of this." And I said, "Look, it's always been in the plan, but I just, I don't disclose everything, right? I didn't give you I didn't give you the engineer plans altogether, but
Well, you just disclosed everything now, right? Live on YouTube.
so,
Allegedly.
but yeah, no, I forgot to run the wiring for that, so I had to pull out the front insulation, with the front two pieces of insulation, which was fine. Everything was ran in Smurf tube, so it was easy. I thought it would be easy. But I'm running the 12 gauge monoprice with a Ethernet cable and a fiber optic cable in there. Fiber optic HDMI. I'm running that, and I pulled the first cable, 12 gauge cable, and it pulled through fine. Well, I pulled that second one.
Snap.
It was tough. I'm telling you, I was pulling on it, and it was pulling all the other wires to go with it. And then believe it or not, I was like, I just typed in Google, "Why is my cable not pulling through?" And they were talking about using cable lube. I'm like, well shit. Cable lube. I never knew that there was a such thing as
hole,
cable
you
lube.
lube it. That's everyone knows that. Bro. I mean, come on, man.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
dead serious.
Just Vaseline. Come on.
That is
Cable lube.
seriously as
Yep.
a
We're
running
going downhill. We're about
telephone wires. We literally
we're
carried
4 men.
Vaseline.
This is going downhill quick.
Because it worked. Vaseline. That's your cable
Yeah.
lube right there.
Yep.
Or you can
Yeah.
buy some fancy stuff that says
Yeah,
cable.
so I mean, but that's the only one. There's only going to be one other port that's going to have a lot, and I did a conduit, like a 3-inch conduit for that one. So as long as the wires don't tangle in themselves, I got 3 XLRs and 3 12 gauge wires to run all the way to the front stage. So I mean, but it's
you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm going to try to do it to where I stage them and pull them all at once. That way the wires don't tangle together.
On a 3-inch conduit, if you ever are doing any runs so what we do, you string, right? You have a stringer that you pull through. And if you already have one, you pull one back and forth. You always pull a follow-up string. But if you don't have one, we would use like a ping pong ball or something, put a string through that, and then put a shot back on the other end, and it'll just
I have a fish tape.
If it fits, right? It's not gonna like your last one that's really tight, You're just
I have a fish tape. So but I did buy like paratrooper string, real fine, but it's super strong. I bought that probably 2 years ago, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know where I put it. So I've just been using the fish tape. It's a 250-foot fish tape. So.
That's.
So that's the only other one that's going to have multiple runs through it. So I'll get, and one of those XLRs is 100-foot because it's got to go. It's got to go. Yeah, it's got to go across the front stage to the far corner. So that's 18 feet. It's got to go up 10 feet. It's got to go across 20 feet. It's got to go back down the wall for another 10 feet and then back up into the rack. So it's quite a run. So
what is the XLR for?
Subwoofer.
Speaker or subwoofer? Why don't you just use a regular subwoofer RCA?
Because of the run. I don't want any interference. XLR is balanced, so I won't have any interference with the 100-foot.
Yeah, with the 100-foot, it's just more complicated to do, I guess. That's why I was just thinking of it. But I mean, it's always a better option for longer runs. And
it could possibly run over electricity, or side by side.
The shielding will work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my front subwoofer is, I think that's one of the mistakes I made. I think this summer I'm probably going to rewire my entire home theater because one, that was my first time doing it DIY, right? So I kind of just cut a few corners probably. So now I know better. I'll probably take time to do better. I run just standard subwoofer RCA cables, but yeah, XLR is great if you can.
Yeah, I'm using the Megami
Ooh,
XLRs too. So
that's
You're
not
high
cheap,
end,
man.
man.
mhm.
I just used
Whoa.
the Snake XLR. It's one girthy,
You went
one
premium
girthy
on that.
cable with 12 or
100
11.
foot Mogami is not cheap, man.
No.
Yeah, I went with I went with the world's. I think it's called World's Best,
Oh,
but
the
they use
World Best,
Megami wire.
WBC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they use Megami wire. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's much cheaper than the. It's not that it's too expensive, but it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's still like $300 for
So,
like a
yeah,
100
it's
foot
like
run.
like 100
you know?
foot is like 3.
Yeah, so Rob Johnson says he uses Megami all around too. Yeah, yeah. So
I want to be like you guys, man.
At some point.
I like Big Jack. He said having someone push on the other end helps. Yep, that's true.
I wouldn't know, but yeah, that works.
yeah, so every
I
day
ran all
Jay
mine
says
alone
use
by
the shop
myself.
back. Use the shop back method. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You basically tie like a plastic bag to the end of like a very
Yeah, you
thin
could do that too.
paratroop, and you can suck it through through the Smurf tube, and it'll come out. And then you just pull it with that. But I like I said, I bought 2 rolls of it, and I can't.
That's an
find it anywhere.
OnlyFans video. Don sucking a cable through.
Oh man.
We used
Subscribe.
we used a RC car once, like an off-road, like a big this was in a commercial building, but we had a kind of a drop ceiling. And yeah, it was like hundreds of feet. I was like, dude, like even the RC car, we couldn't only drive so far because of the interference with all the metal and everything.
Oh, okay.
We had to get one that could, drive over, the metal framing,
Right.
like 3 or 4 inches. And yeah, we did that. And I was like, man, this would have taken us a long time to run. Like even doing, even if you're doing like, because generally you would have just a scissor lift and you would,
Yeah, and you pop the drop ceiling out too.
Yeah. But man, with the scissor lift, even then it would have taken us, we made a basically 3-day job into like one day because we were just like, we RC car'd that thing all the way across because, scissor lift, sure, if the place is empty, but you've got like 1,000 other people working. So you're like, and then you're like, well, okay, I got to wait 2 hours for this guy to move, or I can only go so far. So we got to run fish tape here, try to drop it down over here, move it back and forth.
Most people don't use fish tape anymore. They just use the glow rods.
Yeah, that's what I use. I use the glow rods too.
They're not as flexible, though.
Especially if you're running the attic too. They help when you're going through installation and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you in the chat, let us know what Santa Claus got for you.
Yeah.
In the home theater using your own wallet, because that's probably the only way it works. Or if you're significant.
Yeah, what's your favorite gift for the Christmas?
Yeah, I think I was trying to pull up Charlie B.
Yeah, I beat you to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even read that.
But... Nice. I have been thinking about that. I'm still on the fence on that. But yeah, I read it all
for butt kickers, right?
Yeah, for butt kickers, for lower volume, and just so, because right now I retuned all my subs, and I went ahead and went through the pain to phase align all the 4 rear subs. That was a pain. And yeah, now I've got that, like -31 on some movies. It's just like, oh God, I need to turn the bass down. But it's it's a lot of time to do that. But I still would be interested in having butt kickers in my system just for that, that low, stuff that you don't hear but you can feel.
Just get some
that would be
so getting back. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, get some power sound audio subs. Go to 8 hertz.
Yeah. There
Put
you
it right
go.
behind your seats.
Yeah, so
Mm.
getting back to that cable pulling, so anyway, I forgot to run, cables for near field, and I called Paul. I'm like, Paul, I don't think there's any way I'm getting 4 individual, because I want to do 4 Dayton Audio 10s right against the back of my couch. I said, there's no way I'm going to be able to pull 4 of these cables through this 1-inch Smurf tube that I have. And I said, there's no way for me to get back into the ceiling because it's all blocked off with, drywall and everything else like that. I said, so, I mean, what do you think? So we got to discussing it. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run the 4 subs in parallel. So they'll all go in parallel. That way, if you run them in series, then you put too much of a load on them. So you have to run them in parallel and then run back to the amp, which will be in my closet 30 feet away, series. So unfortunately, I won't be able to control all 4 at one time unless I decide to, put an amplifier inside of the riser or something like that. I don't want to be dealing with all that. So I think with just being near field, having 4 of them, it should be fine. I'll get a DSP controllable amp like a Crown or a Behringer or something like that to do, but that'll be later on. I'm not going to do that right away, but I just want to have the cable there for future proof, so that I at least have it there. But if any of you guys, have done this, for near field, did you use multiple cables to individually control each subwoofer for near field, or did you just run cable? I think Blackjack here saying just need 1 cable, so he's probably talking about the same way that I did, to where you control all 4 of those subs at with 1. So I wanted to individually hook them up to a DSP or a mini DSP. That way I can control each one of them if they needed to be phase aligned or whatever, to kind of have a little bit more control on them. So let's see. So we had a couple comments here. Someone asking about air motion tweeters versus compression drivers. So I believe the JTR has the compression driver that you're speaking of, and the RBH has the air motion tweeter. And we got to see both of these rooms side by side at M-Wave. I would say that the compression driver was louder, definitely louder. As far as quality, I think that for me personally, because I'm an air motion tweeter fan, I think there was a little bit more detail in the air motion tweeter. I own Martin Logan, which has the air motion tweeters, and I really did like the sound of the RBH air motion tweeters. Not discrediting JTR in any way, because they are phenomenal too. So, Ike, what are your thoughts on that between the RBH room that we heard and the JTR room?
I think it's just the way you described it, right? JTR loud and really, really loud. The RBH comes off clean, at least in those rooms that we sampled, right? Came off a little bit cleaner, with the voice much clearer, but it's going to depend on your room. I'm not sure if there's any way for us to say this is exactly better than, especially
Correct.
if we were not tested both of them in the same room with the same type of treatment. But man, you can't go wrong with any of them.
Right. Eric, you
Depending
were at
on the
M-Wave.
brand.
What did you think about those 2 rooms?
Appreciate you, Don. I'm torn, right? Because there's so much in this hobby that's personal preference, and this is personal preference, right?
Mhm.
Compression drivers are loud. They're loud. Clarity isn't quite there, but it's also not. It's not a miss. Like if I replaced all of if I had the budget, I replaced all of my speakers, I would go JTR. right now. But I love the bass and what JTR is bringing. RBH did bring the clarity. If I wanted a room where it was mixed use, where I listened to music and I wanted the clarity because of that, I definitely go RBH. So it's very personalized, and you really have to listen to the two. They're both very good.
Yeah.
It's a very hard preference to land on, and you have to experience them in person to get there.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts, Paul? You got to listen to both of those rooms too at M Wave.
Oh man. So as far as just my experience, I'll tell you my experience first, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Both rooms were too loud, but I prefer compression horn over the RBH room. The RBH was too high. It was the highs were too bright for me. Like I was like, man, I feel a little, but that's probably a testament to their engineering, because normally compression drivers, you can more easily drive with the proper horn to get a better sensitivity out of a speaker, so becoming more efficient. The Air Motion tweeter, though, you can get, depending on the size of it, you can get like a pretty good dispersion pattern more easily without having to extremely design a horn to match your desired pattern or frequency crossover range. So you're kind of, they can both sound exactly the same, but for me, I didn't care for the RBH because they sounded a little bright to me. But JTR room's always cranked up to like
11
100 decibels, so it's like
Yeah.
I don't like that either. I don't that's why the ones that I like are basically JTRs that roll off way earlier, so even at higher volumes they don't pierce my ears, because at 15K they're 10 dB quieter. So I love my JBLs that I have that have the compression horns in them.
So sorry that we may have danced around this question, but like we said, they're both really good. I mean, if we're talking about JTR and RBH,
Miguel loves his RBH tweeters, but he also has the oh god, he's gonna have to remind me, the Aperion. He also has Aperion.
Oh, the Aperion audios. Yeah, they have that too.
Motion.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm a fan of them. That's why I was talking about Dolly earlier, even though Dolly has a combination tweeter there. I also, I think I've mentioned this before. I have the Martin Logans, and the RBH, to me, the mid range was a little bit more pronounced in the RBH than my Martin Logans. But yeah, so I mean, I don't think if you're looking at RBH, or if you're looking at JTR as the compression, I don't think you can go wrong in either way, to be honest with you. But definitely, like Paul said, it's a lot of preference, right?
Yeah, personal preference.
A lot of personal preference here. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Make sure that you go listen to them
Eric
both.
Was dead right about that. Decision. It is personal preference when it comes.
Yeah, so make sure you go listen to them first before you just pull the trigger on them. So. Rob says that he bought 2 box sets on Blu-ray, Warner Brothers, the 125th film collection. Very nice. 3 and 4 on Black Friday, half off. Very nice.
Yep. So now he has the complete box set.
25 movies. I wonder.
So now he has 100 movies box set.
4 box sets, 100 movies. Oh, okay. Dang. 100 movies. Jesus criminy.
Very nice.
That add to the collection.
So, Ike, you've been busy this week.
Doing what? I've been staying out of trouble.
I don't know. That's not what your YouTube channel showed me today.
What I do?
I don't know. I got to pull it up now. I wasn't even prepared for it myself.
Yeah,
A year in the making.
I know. But see, all things work together for good. That's always my philosophy, right? So this is probably the best time for it.
And it was, guys, I'm going to tell you, I've watched lots and lots of theater room tours. Obviously, I'm biased on this one. It was good. I actually enjoyed watching it, whether it was my room or anyone else's. Like it was a good tour. It really was.
Yeah, then or the first one too. I think that's the very first home theater tour that I've done. So thank you guys for watching. I'm really impressed with the feedback that we're getting. So go watch it. It's Eric's-
756 views already. Very nice.
Yeah,
So you got this is Eric who's joined us today. This is his home theater tour. As Eric said, this has been in the making for quite some time. I know you started this a while back and you had to go back and get some B-roll footage or something like that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so I as you can see, I watched about half of it today. Before we got on the show, and I'll finish it up. But yeah, from what I've seen, you got a really nice theater there, Eric.
And the funny thing is, as it's streaming by, I have PTSD from bringing my screen into my room. That thing actually flexed. So the box came up, and the box flexed as they brought it up, and it's one solid casing. And I'm like, stop. Ike knows what I'm talking about. He's seen the entire video. I'm like, stop, because it like flexes and bringing it in. It was a heart attack because that thing wasn't cheap. I think it was $6,000-7,000, and they're
Yep.
bringing it up and it flexes in the frame because they're trying to use leverage to get it in here.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was fun. It was, and again, just a really good video.
Yeah. So, for those that haven't watched the video, make sure you go over to Ike's channel, check it out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, watch the video, and like it. But
Yep.
yeah, so just give us a brief rundown of what you got in your theater, Eric.
So it's a NZ8 with a Stewart, and I was reminded today, Luxus 133-inch motorized screen, acoustically transparent. So and the reason I did that is because I have floor standing speakers behind it, DefTech 9060s. All of the rest of the speakers are all the DefTech 9080s. The CS 9080 center channel, SR 9080s for the surrounds and the rear surrounds, and then the DI8i for the 6 overheads. And then I've got, it looks like a drone. You can kind of see it there in the background. It is a vibration controller. So I found, because of the PSA, I think it's 1813Ms that I've got, it was vibrating that projector in the entire room so much that the screen would the projector would shake so much that it would vibrate the screen.
Are
So
you on a second floor?
I am on a second floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps and it hurts. It helps with the vibration from the subwoofers, but it hurts, and the vibration of the entire room just shakes.
Right.
So I got the little I call it little drone there. It's a chief mount that I've got, and the chief drone isolation for vibrations. It's counterweighted, so basically when the subwoofers start shaking the room, it counterweights it so it doesn't vibrate. So it kind of looks odd. It wasn't cheap, but it works. Yeah, then we move on to the hardware that's in the closet behind me that you can see, and you can see it in the video. But Zedo, Monolith hardware, HTP1, got their amplifiers. Just a long journey, man. just 5 years of iterations. I had Denon. I had a few different Denons that I went through. Their customer service upset me so much that I actually, spent the $10,000 to go to Separates, and then replaced that all and rebuilt it. Got a really good deal on the rack. Guys, don't ever buy a new rack. Go to third party. Go to
Yeah.
third party locations.
Tools Lot. That's where I buy everything, my racks from. Toolslot.com.
If you wait long enough, there's always a local business that's getting rid of the racks. The only problem is you have to go take them apart and dismantle them and transport them yourself. Matter of fact, I just saw a full 92 the full rack for $200.
Right.
But
I got really lucky. I got lucky. So as reference there, I'm an admin on the Build Montage Discord. We had a gentleman that joined the Discord, and he happened to have 3 different racks that he just picked up, and he's like, I'm in the Dallas area if anybody wants them. And obviously I'm here, and I'm like, what do you got? So I ended up getting I ended up paying $250. This guy had picked these up, and I didn't want to say it, Paul, but yeah, like there's businesses they're going out of business on a regular basis.
Well, a lot of them are just changing.
Changing.
Yeah,
right?
that's the way. Yeah, don't ask me
Upgrading.
why you can't use a rack, but it's just like, we got to take everything out. We got to, get rid of it securely, and all new stuff has to be put in. And it's part of the sale. You generally, whenever you buy a bunch of new stuff,
Right.
the times the rack comes with it. So
Even for me I got a fantastic deal on mine. I got mine for Cossus 72U. I think I paid like $900 for it, but now you're looking at $1,300 for an off name, completely put together, shipped rack. But if you can find a good deal on them,
it's cheap. You're getting what you pay for.
It costs more to ship my rack to me than I bought. I bought it for $150, and I paid $200 plus to get it shipped to me. And it was already completely built, everything. I didn't have to do nothing.
It's all about patience when it comes to that stuff, because I've got to
keep hunting for a good deal.
I got even just a random Dell server that I don't use anymore, but it was one that's compatible with like ESX7, and you look online, they're like minimum like $2,000. I found one from someone that basically was told, get rid of all these servers. I bought one for like $200. And I mean, this is like a legit server that runs like something that Google has.
You're talking about VMware?
Yeah. But it was like I forgot. Now it's old as dirt, but anyway, but that's the problem, is waiting. If you need it now, you're going to be paying 10 times what it costs. Because like I said, I found a data, and it was a full 92U rack, and it was like $200.
92U.
Huh?
Where are you gonna put that? 92U.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, you're gonna be getting close to touching your 8-foot ceiling on there.
Oh, that 72U is like a little over 7 foot.
Yeah. So like, where are you gonna put that? Like, outside?
It's big. Yeah, that's the one. And that's the other ring. You got to have like me. You got to have 9-foot ceilings to even use that.
Yeah.
I've got a full size, and I still had to go in sideways into the closet to get it in there.
I'm gonna have to get a secondary rack too, because right now I don't have room for the watt box. I don't have room for the additional side surround amp that I have. Woodchuck hard cider. There we go.
That's good stuff. It's actually good stuff. I've had that
bubbly dry.
This is the pear secco. So
it's a dry cider, right?
It's not too sweet. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, see, Eric knows, because I'm not a big sweets guy, and I'm like, oh, these aren't too bad. Yeah,
Dude, Paul.
I'm just glad it doesn't have banana or pineapple or something on the name of the can.
But you said bananas. There is no good fake banana flavor like this. Not like banana flavor.
So
let's get back. Let me hit up. I was just going to say, I hit up a couple of questions. Where are we going? Sorry, Don. Go ahead.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go get back to your tours, your talking tour here. So we got the projector. The screen that you hauled through the window that almost bent. Everyday Jay says that he likes your drop down screen. What screen are you using?
So it's a Stewart Luxus 133-inch acoustically transparent screen. And
Is that a woven screen or is that a micro perf?
It is micro perf. Unfortunately, they do not make a woven version of that, and I am paying the consequences of that at this point. I don't know if it'd be different, so I'm gonna say actually, I don't know if I'm paying the consequences between that and a woven, but because you know I have the TV behind it, if I don't cover up the TV, the light from the NZ8's bright enough, it'll go through the
Bounce.
micro perf and it bounces back. So I ended up having to get a black blanket that I have next to me for the dogs, and I put that over the TV. And you have to do that because otherwise you'll actually see the light projecting through the screen and then back at you through
Right.
the micro perf. But
So you
yeah,
didn't buy the black backing that came with the screen, then?
it actually has black backing, but
Oh,
there's
really?
still holes.
Oh.
Yeah, there's still holes in it.
You can even on my non-acoustically transparent screen, whenever I had my drop down, if I forgot to turn the TV off, you'd see it all. But you'd be like, oh crap. I was like, and then I had to raise it because I was like, the sensor's covered up.
Yeah,
So I was like,
they-
hold on. And
That's,
they're like,
thank
click.
you for Google and Home Assistant. It happens every now and then where it doesn't actually turn off the TV with my automation, and you can definitely see it behind it. So I have to tell it to turn off the TV. But yeah, you 100% can see it.
Yeah.
So
can
I
imagine
have to put the
it
blanket
has to have
over the
audio.
TV because of the micro perf.
Yeah. That's
But I had to raise when I reconfigured, and I used Dirac Live as you saw in the theater room tour. I had to raise it up 1.5 dB.
Okay.
get
Yeah.
my
Give it
measurements.
an extra boost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're going through those those perf screens or even through fabric, you got to give it. You can lose up to 3 dB going through all that stuff. So you definitely need to adjust it properly. So
I did want to
so
answer the
gain.
Sorry, one more time.
No,
It's a
go on.
1.3 gain, correct?
Yeah, it's 1.3. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But Rob Johnson had asked why I'm not using the Xbox SXS over the Panasonic 420, and the major difference there is the tone mapping that Panasonic does, and JVC does its own tone mapping, but I did some side by side. So I mentioned I did side by side with the NVIDIA Shield with the ZDU. I did the same thing with the SXX, the Xbox Series X, and the Panasonic, and the Panasonic just blew it away. It's not even a good comparison. The user interface with the Xbox compared to the Panasonic doesn't compare. You have to go through the gaming interface to the Blu-ray player to get it started. So it's easily 2 to 3 minutes to start it up, on top of the fact that the quality of it isn't nearly the same. Now, I will caveat that with, you can go into settings and you can make it automatically start Blu-rays when you put it in there with the Xbox, but even still, the quality between the two of them isn't comparable. It's just it's not even the same between the NVIDIA Shield and the ZDU that I referenced in the video. ZDU being better, it's so night and day difference between the Xbox and Panasonic. It's just not even worth using, in my opinion. I would never use.
You
the
like
Xbox.
the ZDU better than the NVIDIA Shield or the Panasonic for your?
Sorry, I'm probably confusing conversations. So with a RIP, the NVIDIA Shield is okay. It's not bad. by any means. And for convenience, I would use the NVIDIA Shield just because I use it for streaming services and all that kind of jazz. If I'm worried about quality for something that I want the highest quality on, the Z2 it beats out the Shield TV. Going back and forth between the two, it's the Z2 is visually, and I'm not a video file or an audio file or anything like that, but the Z2 beats it out. It's not even close. Audio,
That's what it's designed to do, right?
Now, what
It's a
about
dedicated
what about the
to
Panasonic
box.
compared to the Zidu? The only reason I say that, or I'm asking this, is because this is where my Shield lives right now.
I don't even use mine. Mine is just sitting in the rack.
I haven't used it in so long. I'm just like,
Mine
need
is
to
sitting in the
declutter.
rack
And I'm like,
collecting dust.
I'm ripping stuff out. I'm like, well, I haven't used this in forever. For my convenience, I use Apple TV. Like
I mean they're competing products. Given, I mean they're competing products. I mean Apple TV is a good product. NVIDIA Shield is a good product. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, then you're going to want to go with you're going to go with Apple. I'm in the Google ecosystem, so I go with NVIDIA Shield. I mean, it's kind of how it goes, right?
I don't even use it for the ecosystem. The only reason that I use the Apple TV is the only device that I have that for Jessica, all she has to have is the Apple TV remote. It's the only one where the CEC actually controls everything successfully.
Gotcha.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like literally, I don't need the fancy sofa baton or anything. Literally, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm playing my Zidu or if I was playing NVIDIA Shield or the LG Blu-ray player or whatever, once I turned everything off, she can walk up, pick up the Apple TV remote, controls the volume, turns everything on. Everything.
Yeah, my 5-year-old knows how to work that now.
Yeah, the
no,
Apple just works.
That's the only reason that I have the Apple. Now, granted, I am in the Apple ecosystem.
I can tell you that the first version with that fucking
remote,
touchpad,
that thing was horrible, man.
I cannot stand that touchpad.
Oh God, yes, that thing sucks horribly. Everyone hated
If
that.
you want to fast forward or rewind, because my son likes to rewatch videos, and you're like, you're too far.
You just get to the end of the end of whatever you're watching. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, that remote, I had to go buy it. I have one of the newer versions upstairs, and once I got the new version with the new remote, I had to go buy another one for the downstairs, just a remote, because I could not stand that damn touchpad. What's up, Haterade? Haterade's been busy too. He just did a video tour of his.
Hey man, I'm not like you, Jordan.
room.
You be doing tours every week, man. I don't know how you do it, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there.
Yeah, Haterade, you got to go over to Ike's channel. He just finally released the tour of my room that you had to skip because he was doing it a year ago.
I know.
Finally, I'm not the one getting shit today. Thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I does
drywall?
tours like Don builds theaters. A couple of years at a time. I'll get one out every couple of years.
We're doing it. We're one room tour a year. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I'm actually working on another one that should be out very soon. So look forward to it.
Hanks drywall.
He's like, I'm working on another one for 2025.
2026.
That will be out
one.
for a couple of weeks, but that's, at least now, well, yeah.
No, honestly, Ike, we're giving you shit here. That's a good tour, dude. And I've already said it. Like, try to be as.
Well, that's why you wanted it out. You were like, dude, that's a good one.
No, I didn't know when it was going to come out. I saw. So he sent me. What was it? 6-8 months ago, Ike. He sent me a cut of it, and I was like, no, you can't release that. We got to do some more. Came back, did some more B-roll. I mean, that's like Don had said, that's what took so long to get it back out. But he did it. Like, not a lot of YouTubers are going to do that. Like, that's what we're rolling with,
Yeah.
Ike went back through and he got some more B-roll. He got we got permission from Tony at Build Montage to bring in his editor, and Ike went, worked with him to get it done. And I got a lot of respect, man. It came out much better than I thought it was going to be. It was a good video. It's really
So
a
where
good
did you
video.
upload? So if you use the editor, where did you upload that to, Ike? How
we
did you? You
work
just put it on like a
Drive.
Dropbox?
We just work together on Google Drive, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, and yeah, it was
Yeah, because
fun.
that's like a, obviously if you're filming in 4K, that's a large file. So I was just curious.
Yeah, some of those uploads took a day, forever and a day,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's all about just having the process flow and, just coming up with a plan and knocking it out. But I'm glad it's out there. A quick question, not that I'm trying to skip that, but I don't want to forget my answer that I had in mind. I think that came from Wade. Will a Z-Do or our Revolution look better than the HTPC? Look, if you're playing ISO
Depends.
file, right? The ISO file is ISO file. The difference is going to be the quality of your HTPC, right? In comparison to our Revolution or the Z-Do.
The answer
And
is
the player.
Yeah, and the player, right?
what's
So
your your home theater PC, right? That's what you're.
yeah,
Okay, so here's the answer. Z-Do or Revolution, they have great, super easy user interfaces. I like the Z-Do. It does have a little bit of few extra bells and whistles that I don't know if the Revolution has, where you can change the picture parameters. Can you do that on the Revolution? I assume you can because it's kind of the same.
What do you mean the picture parameters?
Like you can go in and you can adjust like the brightness and the contrast from the player, how it tone maps.
Wade is saying yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can go through and do all that.
The thing is, by default, your HTPC will not be better, right? Because you're just sending it raw file and whatever, and you're limited to the display. But if you have an HTPC, you should be in the MadVR community and have the PC version of that. And yes, it will super succeed the Z-Do and the Revolution and any other thing by 1,000-fold. But you will also be
if you have the settings tweaked. If you have the settings tweaked.
Exactly. You will be tweaking it for hours and days, and you got to figure it out. The capability of an HTPC far succeeds any just off the shelf locked processor, but that's up to you whether or not. If you want something easy to do, it's the other two.
Yeah, like Jordan is saying, right? Yeah, it might not look better, yes, if you don't have the right settings, especially if you're not using the MadVR PC, the free MadVR software. But yeah, in terms of ease and, just being able to have this stuff play, I don't know if the percentage difference is worth the hassle, except your HTPC is already solid and well built. Then yeah, I'll probably just stick with
if you're like a software engineer and a PC builder, it's like, oh yeah, HTPC all day long,
Yeah,
like
I'll use that. Yeah,
but like you said though, I think we had this discussion before that. Look, if you're the only one using it, fine, right? I think my wife would have difficulty.
Well, but see, that's the thing.
Through
if you are a guru and you're running an HTPC, you will create your own little app that you pick up your own little remote that does everything automatically as well. But again, you have to develop that. You're developing your own interface and your own stuff. Oh yeah, all day long, because that's how Ton has his stuff, right? He picks up a keyboard and he's like, okay, anybody can just, bloop, bloop, bloop. He has it all set up, and I'll get him on here one of these days.
We need to get Ton on there.
I know, man, and talk about the MadVR stuff and
it's been too long.
It's been too long, man. We need to get it off his home theater. See,
I talked to him. Gosh, every 3 days minimum.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got to get him on here because he he's got a nice home theater, and he can definitely
Oh,
answer a lot of questions about
yeah.
Mad VR. He's a beta tester for
Yeah,
the
so-
Mad
so-
VR.
Been a beta tester.
Yeah, so wait, if there's a WAP factor involved, then just go to Zedu or
Yeah, and even that, you know, there's
Evolution. Yeah,
sometimes they're gonna
Yeah,
have
if you're
difficulty
doing
with
the
that.
WAF factor,
yeah, the WAP
that's
factor is a play.
Apple
Don't even,
TV. Sorry, that's Apple TV. All
yeah,
day.
don't make the WAP do HTPC,
Apple
man.
TV or Nvidia Shield.
Yeah. All day.
And I
all
was
day
gonna
long.
answer Paul on the Apple TV thing. The only reason mine works is because of the hundreds of hours I've got into the automation in my room. If it wasn't for that, it wouldn't work. Plus, this is a dedicated room,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, 100%.
Oh
If you've
God!
got-
Don't use Windows for your HTPC. Come on, man. Use
Use
Windows.
Linux, man.
Get
You
out
gotta
of
use
here.
Linux, man. Gotta use Linux, bro.
Yeah, You're not
I
a
didn't
real
realize it.
teacher if you're using Windows. No.
No, the problem with Windows too is you got to turn off every freaking update on that machine, right? The moment that
is
window
one thing,
gets updated, it's breaking everything.
Hold
Tom
on,
has
hold
dealt
on.
with that.
The
We got-
moment
we got-
NVIDIA updates its software, man, your HTPC is down the drain. So you with Windows, you got to turn off everything. Like,
I want to welcome Matt Warding. He's touring TPG on the Discord channel. He just called something out, dude. You're color coordinated, bro.
yes, I
With your
am.
room,
Oh yeah,
with
he
the
always
room,
is,
too.
man. You know,
sexy as hell, bro. You're killing it, man.
he's a purple
Oh,
people.
damn.
He's a purple people leader. You know, he's got that mic.
Look at this dude, and it's like perfectly matched. Like he took his hat to get his mic cover, or vice versa. You're killing it, bro.
He's got the fit
I'm-
working.
It's my favorite color. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's my favorite color too. Ravens purple.
Jeez, dude. I honestly think the Ravens are gonna get.
it's my fraternity's color too, purple and gold. So, yeah, it's a different conversation, but yeah,
Unfortunately,
enjoy
unfortunately, Lamar usually underperforms in the playoff games. So
Playoffs.
we'll see how it goes. But,
All I know is like
I hope
compared to
you're
how
true. I
he
hope you're
played the
right.
Chiefs, compared to how he played Baltimore. I'm
hey,
just
this
like,
might not even be Ike. This could be AI.
right.
Hey, Ike, see what I did there, Jordan?
It's not Ike. It's AI.
Yeah, it's not Ike. It's AI. The more you
Hey,
know.
hey, Ike. Yeah. So so what about what you mentioned amplifiers in your theater? You said I don't know if we caught what type of amplifiers you were using.
I'm using the monolith. It's all the
It's the
same. I've got the
Oh, so,
monolith
okay.
AP1 monolith amplifiers.
The heavy ones.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, not the
They're made by
lightweight ones.
ATI too, so they're good amps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
Did
A.
you know
Those
the
are all
HTTP1
AB, right? Class AB.
they are. They
Yeah.
are. Did you know the HTTP1 is made by ATI as well?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the same as all of their equipment, which was
So do you run the BEQ, the upgraded version of their software, their GUI that they have?
yeah. So it's got a big community. The cool thing about, and it's different than Trinov in this way, is that HTTP1's
Thanks, Jordan.
the monoprice software is open source, and so because of that, the community built into it, built a custom UI. Monolith Monoprice loves the community so much they actually baked in their custom UI. So now you can go and choose to get to their AI, and then automatically load up the custom. I'm saying AI now, custom UI. Sorry, and it automatically loads. And I've used it. Don, to answer your question, I've used the BEQ. It's awesome. However, I kind of compensated for the lack of bass in many movies with my Dirac calibration. So I haven't used it as much lately, because if I do, it starts to distort my PSAs because I have my PSAs already boosted so much.
Boosted, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I can go back to my default, and I've done that more now. And so maybe, so maybe I'll go back and start messing around with the BEQ. It's really cool though. Before I started using the boosted calibration, I watched, I think it was one of the Terminator movies, and it was lackluster. And I went to the BEQ and I loaded it up, and it boosted it to the point where I was like blown away. And I actually posted on the Build Montage Discord, and I was just saying how much I was blown away by it. And so many people said the same thing, that it was just the track on that is just so lackluster. And I got people to go in there and boost it up based off of what I found on the BEQ. This is years ago. But yeah, so it's good stuff, because people go in there and they'll measure it and they'll upload their calibration or what they expect that calibration should be based off of that specific movie. You search for that movie and load those calibrations, and it'll change the soundtrack. It's really cool stuff. I don't know if any of the other ones do that.
Yeah, no, not well. I know you can do it through the mini DSP itself.
Oh,
Right.
can you?
Yeah.
Oh,
can add
but you
BEQ.
have to purchase the Dirac
Mhm.
license, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I know you can do it through the mini DSP itself, but as far as processor, that's the only one that will run it as like it's built into the interface.
Built in,
The
because it has
appliance.
the base the control and the base management stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And for the price, it's crazy, man. For the price, that thing is wild.
So on you were talking about the vibration for your subwoofers. Are you using any type of isolation feed or anything like that on those?
Oh yeah, they're on mats. They're all on mats. I don't know if I still have the front one on mats. After I put the isolation on the projector, I stopped doing it because it doesn't make a difference being on the second floor, to be honest with you.
Right.
I had 1.5 inch or 2 inch pads over the previous one that was near field when I only just had the one sub, and it made honestly zero difference. It just vibrated through the isolation pad. It's a piece of foam. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm not sure if you ever tried like the SVS feed or not like that, but they definitely make a huge difference.
Do they?
Yeah. If
You
you
can
put
do
them
the
on.
washer and dryer riser things too. They're basically the same exact rubber compound that work, and they're way cheaper, and you can get them at Home Depot. But I do like the SVS, so
Yeah.
You
may want to try those. That may. I mean, I know you like your tactile feel from the actual subwoofer, so it could hurt and help, like you said.
Well, it depends. So ideally, your isolation from your subs is not to remove tactile feel, but inherent resonance of like vibrating, like physical, like the wall, right? Like if you have a picture on a wall, right, and you have something vibrating, or you tap the wall, the picture will vibrate. But if you knock on something that's absorbs that vibration, so there's a fine line. It is one and the same kind of, right? Like people say.
I got those RLX Subdue, that platform that you can just put your subwoofers on.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, it helped greatly. I still have the SES isolation feed on it, so it did.
But is that I guess that is the question, right? It does having the isolation feet and that mat, does it change anything, or is the mat more than sufficient enough?
The mat should be sufficient. I just didn't want to remove the isolation feet.
Yeah.
And I also just wanted some additional, I guess.
Because you're on a second floor too, right?
Yeah, I'm also on the second floor too, right? So I just wanted some additional absorption or isolation. So
I do have subdudes though. That's the mat that I was referring to. It was a subdudes.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
But it's still, I mean, and it's nothing against subdudes. I like the pad. It's high quality. It built like a tank. Those PSAs are just monsters.
yeah, those things are monsters, man. Like I couldn't believe you only have 2 of them in your room.
Yeah, they're just
That makes no sense, man. It's either you just have them in the perfect location and like all
Oh,
things
I'm-
just came together to work out. But two
I
in a
moved them
blind
around.
test, nobody would pick two as the number of subs in the room.
I did move them around and did some measure. I'm a geek, dude. I moved them around a little bit. I got really lucky with the front nook.
Yeah.
I said the same thing in the video. I've got a nook in the front of my room that's like 2.5 feet deep, and I have no idea why it's there. It's just there, and it's like the perfect size for my sub, but it actually boosts the sub because I corner gain.
Yeah, it's corner loading. Yep.
Yeah. So it just blows things up. Like it's ridiculous. And then I've got the one behind the chairs that are near field. So I think it's what you said, Ike. I got lucky.
Yeah, it just worked out for good. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it was two subwoofers in that room, man. It's like, wow, how? You know. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering. So, and then, are you the only one? Does your wife, or excuse me, one second. Sorry, I'm definitely coming down with a cold. Does your wife or anybody also use the theater, or is it just you for the most part?
Well, I mean, it's mainly me. I'm in here for conference calls during the day and stuff for work. Since COVID, but my wife comes up here Friday and Saturday nights or date nights, and we hang out in the theater room. But she doesn't just use it on her own, if that's the question.
yeah,
Hey, thank you for the super chat,
thanks for the
Matt.
super chat,
Appreciate that.
man. Yep.
Shout out, Matt. That's again Torn TPG is another admin on the Build Montage channel. Love you,
Yeah.
Matt.
Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, the PSAs definitely they definitely impact subwoofers, man.
Yeah, John Anthony, Gene, he's got, I think, 3 or 4 of those PSA subs. He really likes them.
Yeah,
So-
I've heard a lot about those. Yeah, I mean, gosh, the price to performance, they're I mean, you can go up quite a bit there too. But,
Yeah.
I mean, the only way to get better is like DIY and that type of.
Yeah, because I think it used to be go get JTRs or get PSAs, but it looks like in the last year, JTR just won the whole marketing, and more people tend to talk about it. But it used to always be PSAs, JTR type stuff, so they're really good. They make some really good.
I'm the outlier. I still have shoe.
Oh, SHU
Yeah.
is good. Shoe's good.
She was good.
Yeah.
It is, but it's they don't market as much.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet
PSA doesn't market either.
PSA doesn't.
Yeah,
he's
that's
Yeah,
literally
not
word
as
of
much.
mouth.
You're right.
he's
You're
not
right.
at any of the
Yeah.
shows that I've never seen him at any.
You
of
know,
the
that's
shows.
why I said JTR. Just from just that,
Mhm.
more people talk about JTR more than they would talk about PSA and
Yep.
shoe and stuff like that. So that to me boils down to their market, and their subwoofers and speakers are really great. So
I might actually email Tom. And for the record, to this day, Tom still answers his own emails. I said it in the video a year ago, but
Oh yeah,
he,
no,
to this day, still answers his own emails. Maybe I'll email him about M-Wave.
And
you
that's
can
might
always
be-
find a good deal on B stock on his stuff too. So
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mentioned that. Like, if you get a PSA and you want to upgrade, you can send it back to him. He'll give you a credit. Again, I say all this in the video, but he'll give you a decent credit. It's not even just like I'll give you $100
That's
for
probably
it.
why he doesn't market, because it's like, hey, I got enough money or enough interaction, maybe not even money. No one can ever have enough. Well, you can have enough, but there's
No, he says
no one,
exactly
no one
the
ever
same-
turns it down.
Yeah,
but he's probably like, I don't want to deal with 10,000 more people a week or something like that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, he
Yeah.
says the same thing. Like I've got more orders than I can fulfill, so I'm good.
I can totally understand that, because I have been on the cusp of some stuff where I'm like, this is too much of a headache, because it's like you can deal with 10 people perfectly fine, but then once you get to the mass market, right, and I'm just it's small numbers for Talking Point only. You deal with 90 people that are amazing, and then 10 people are just total. They just want everything for free. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, and you're dealing with them 90% of the time. It's like, no, I can't just give you shit for free. Not because I don't want to. I want to give everything to you for free for you to shut the hell up. But I cannot set a precedence of, hey, if you do this, you get everything for free. And that I've been there, done that. That's why I don't own my own business. Cause I'm like, man, it only takes one bad apple. It's like, you want stuff for free? Did you not see me out here working? Like,
I get those phone calls every day with my normal business. We'll have a price increase of like $10. And for you, in 5 years, we haven't increased your price for 5 years. And you get a price increase for $10, and you're calling me and complaining that you're going to cancel because of $10.
Yep.
You
where me, like, even whenever I was living in apartments, right? Like $20 a month. I'm like, that's nothing, right? It's like, but I've also been in apartments where it's like $500 a month. What?
Yeah.
Like, no, I can move. I will move for that at even $100 a month. I'll be like $100 a month. More?
So you put on here, Eric, you put come to M-Wave. So as of right now, I was listening to Jonathan and Ryan's channel the other day, and they definitely said M-Wave is looking 2026. Like you just, Kevin just put that up there too. So M-Wave 2026 possibly. So they're looking to do some stuff then. So
yeah, I need to reach out to Ryan and see if I can help the guy out.
So, but yeah,
Michael pulled out, and yeah.
Well, I mean, we
ain't nothing wrong. I mean, it's just one of those things, and it's I don't
business
know. Yeah,
is
and
business,
if you reach out, I mean, I could always reach out myself, but I think they're doing their own thing, and I guess if Ryan needs any help, I think if he would ask, I think anyone would probably help.
Oh yeah. And I'm not disparaging youth, man. I'm actually Rusty, the gentleman that partnered with him. He was actually in the DFW Theater Room group. Like, he's a buddy of mine. So I'm not disparaging by any means. And you're right, it's business, but I love M-Wave.
Well, that's what it is. It's like, man, we're gonna miss M-Wave.
A lot of us are gonna miss M-Wave, and I hope it retains. I hope it retains.
Hey,
that
the beer tour. Once Ryan, the beer tour will still be on. Hey, because that was totally separate. That it's like, if people are coming, I'll do the brewery tour. So I'm doing the same. Another.
No, I've never had that one.
Another hard cider.
I bet that's going to be good. I've never had that one.
That's a Bellini right there. So this is a combo pack that had the Pear Secco, the Bellini, and a mimosa one, but it wasn't called mimosa. It was called something else. So
wait, hold on. Someone's just making a comment about M-Wave beer tour. Is this something I didn't know about?
We had a beer tour.
Yeah, dude, we went to what was it? 6 different breweries. We across a couple days, but yeah, I'm the guy.
Every night we were out there.
Who was invited?
Everybody.
I invited you, bro, and you were busy, man. I personally talked to you, and you were like, "I'm doing this and doing that." I'm like, "All right." Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I would have.
You were busy, man. You were busy. That's why. And I even put a video out on it. It was a good time. There was a few people. It wasn't.
I think we had like 10 at max.
Yeah,
10 or 12 max.
Yeah, 10 or 12 people. Yeah, it's not for everybody, because we're going to several breweries. We're drinking 1 or 2 beers per brewery. And yeah, we did, what was it, 6 or 7 different breweries. And And I also am thinking about doing a morning brewery tour, but a coffee brewery tour of the coffee shops.
Coffee brewery? Oh, coffee.
Yeah,
I
because
got you.
you brew coffee, you brew beer. That's why my channel will be called Brews and Views, because I have beer and
You
coffee.
better market that right now.
It's
You better-
already marketed, bro.
You better just over create the channel and
Better
just,
go over and create the channel because somebody's gonna steal it.
It's all right. They can steal it.
oh man.
So Matt, I think this is geared towards you, but we're streaming to two different channels here. So
Yeah.
mine is I don't know where my names went. I think let's see if
It's Horizon.
there we go. So mine's Horizon Home Theater and Ike's is Easy HT Tech. If you guys haven't subscribed to either one of those channels, please do so because we greatly appreciate that. But Ike, I think this is more geared towards you because Eric turned him on to your channel. So what do you got coming up?
I am working on my own home theater tour, right? And because I haven't really done one in an actual sense of just talking about the whole stuff. I started working on that last week, well, a little bit before last week, but took some time off for the holidays. I have the Dune 4K player in for review. I also have another device that is supposed to be a replacement for the NVIDIA Shield that I'm currently working on to see is that even possible, and yeah, there's a couple of other things that I have in the works, so
You want me to come and interview for your room tour?
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
that.
do it.
I mean, it's complete. I'm already done shooting. I'm just
Oh, okay.
working to get it edited in the next couple of days. But yeah, the shoot is already complete and all of that. And yeah, it's a lot challenging when you're having to shoot a video all by yourself, a tour.
And I don't know how Jordan did it, but I watched his yesterday evening. It was really, really
Yeah,
amazing.
he had the
Oh.
different views of the cameras and stuff like that to make it seem like somebody else was shooting, and it was pretty cool.
Who is
I
that?
watched
Yeah,
it. Jordan.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I do similar now, right? It's like just using two cameras because it's easy to just stray away from the one view. Completely.
Yeah, no,
Like-
and plus, if you mess up, you can be like, blah blah blah, and blah 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 blah. You can look right in the other camera. You know that it's if you mess
So,
up in this camera,
It's
you
it's
can
it's
stay
really
right in the
funny
other-
because one time I was shooting a video, right? I'm standing in the theater talking to the camera, and then I get so carried away by what I was talking about and did not realize that I'd completely walked away from the front of the camera. And then it dawned on me, it's like, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be in front of the camera. That's completely somewhere else in the whole theater, and it happens if you do if you're standing, right? You might just get carried away. So yeah, if you have a second camera, it probably would have got that different.
If you got the gimbal,
view.
if you're filming with your pocket cam, it should follow you, right?
Yeah, I have that. It's good, but I don't use it for like the home theater. I probably won't do that, right?
Okay.
Because you're trying to capture a distance. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I should have coming up on the channel next. And then I need to get this review out for this Stack Sound bookshelf speakers that are sitting right there. I've had them for a couple of months. I really enjoy them. They're really, really good for the price point. They're not no audiophile level. I'm a 2-channel type, stuff. No, but just for something that you can listen to music, they do well. So yeah, I've got a couple of stuff lined up.
For me, I'm I don't know. I've been wanting to build faster than I wanted to record, so I didn't really document any of the riser build or anything like that, but I may slow down here because my carpet's going to take 3 weeks anyway. I didn't realize it was going to take 3 weeks to get here, so I may just do a quick video on how I built the riser. We did a slight discussion on it on the live channel. I also am doing a review on the Arvolution. I'm going to go through the whole GUI everything about the Arvolution and how to connect the NOS and get it to identify all the videos. We briefly discussed that last week. It did a really good job, except for on TV shows. So I mean, I have like 1,900 pieces of media on that thing. So and it missed about 150 out of the 1,900. So I don't think it did too bad overall, but it's more or less the way that I had the TV episodes labeled. So which it with the Zapedi, I didn't have that issue before. It picked up everything. So, but it's scrubbing a different database than the Zapedi did, and the Zapedi actually stopped even scrubbing databases for a long time there at the end. So,
some of them do multiple, like they'll do the movie DB and IMDb,
right?
So, and that's where it gets, and like some of them are better at guessing, I guess, or worse at guessing, I guess. So, like Plex, for instance, will do IMDb, the movie database, the tvdb.com, but it also will be like, well, this looks close enough, and it'll give it something instead of saying unmatched. Like the Zadoo will be like, I don't know what that is. You're going to have to tell me what that is. It'll just unmatch it. Where the Plex will be like, some random thing. I'm like, what is that? I don't even know. I don't have that. I've never heard of that. What is that? It'll be something
right,
totally not even, related to anything you've ever seen, but so that's what's interesting about all that. But yeah, it's doing all that is a pain. That's where your Kscape has the advantage. You just say, oh yeah, that's what I want. Oop, and you click play.
Yeah. So Kevin has a comment here. I'm curious if any of you guys have considered the nostalgia that comes with having a real snack bar, digital posters, etc. So I wanted to do something like this on the outside of my theater. I have a dining room that we do not use that leads right into my theater.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about putting cabinetry in and all that. I actually have 2 frame TVs. I bought 2 frame TVs for the digital poster boards. I'm only going to go with 1. I decided against going with 2. I may wind up switching my monitor that I have here and using the frame TV for that.
You just send it to me. I
Just send it over to you. Sure.
Yeah, I have better use for
It's in the mail right now. But yeah, so I thought about that. And we have like I don't know what they call it. It's like a buffet. So I'll probably use that. I have the popcorn machine. My son, believe it or not, for Christmas, he wanted a cotton candy machine. So we bought a cotton candy machine. So we got that. And then
did you kick Eric out?
No, he waved. He put in a private chat that he had to dip out.
Okay.
Oh, did he leave? Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he was saying that he had the cotton candy machine too.
That's what I thought too.
So got a cotton candy machine, and I've actually been looking at like a hot dog roller. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but they're only like $100 for the hot dog roller. I think I'd like the nacho cheese thing, the thing that heats up the nacho cheese more than I would the hot dog roller. But yeah, no, I was gonna do some of the they have like a tube. And you put all the candy in them. You can mount them on the wall, and you just crank it, and the candy comes out. So I was going to do a couple of those, but
yeah. So I also have a dedicated snack room
Candy
outside of the
only
theater.
lasts so long, though, I mean, and how I would totally do that, but you would have to have a lot of kids or younger people, joining your theater, because I've seen some of those theaters where they have a full snack. They have like 20 Milk Dud things. And it's like, if you have a lot of kids coming over constantly, yes, they would go through that stuff in a movie. You know what I mean? Now, granted, the parents would probably not let them come back
Probably
to the place again after, you let them eat 4 boxes of, gummies or whatever.
See,
but
I have a
that's my only
dedicated
thing.
I have a dedicated snack room that is outside the theater. But now that you just asked, when I was shooting the video for the tour, I didn't cover it because I felt like probably nobody wants to see that. So now I guess tomorrow I
Now
gotta
you got to go
shoot.
reshoot. Yep.
I gotta go shoot tomorrow now. Kevin, thanks to you. Yes, but I have a popcorn machine. I have a liquor bar. I have a fridge, and just a couple of other stuff. So yeah, I guess now I gotta go shoot that and then get it included in the home theater tour. But I didn't think about it.
Quarter-fed candy machines work well. That's funny.
Yeah, I can't.
I
do
like
all
a
that.
big
I can't-
gumball machine.
I got 3 kids, man. I can't do that, man. I would have to put a biometric lock or something, man, because those kids will raid.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
kids will raid the whole.
Rich is asking, where do you have the movies and TV shows sources? Oh,
No, I think that is having a conversation with regards to the question that came in for the Zidu, the
Yeah.
category. Let's see if I can find that.
So Kevin says you use the Great Northern popcorn. I use the same, and I too clean it about once a month. But if you don't clean the actual where you put the kernels at, sometimes they'll get stuck in there, and then if you turn the kettle on, it'll burn. So you'll start like whatever you had left in the machine will burn right away. So just got to make sure that you
man, you guys are gonna have to send me some links.
Yeah, I have the complete one with the
I
rolling
need that.
wheels.
Do they
the
have a
ball
me too.
popcorn machine.
They have a
roller
countertop
wheels.
version. I don't want.
yeah they
No,
actually
you can
turn
buy
into
it without the
countertop.
wheel.
Mhm.
You can
Okay.
buy it without the rolling wheel and just
Yeah,
put it on the
'cause I want
countertop.
to be able to put it in my, my little pantry when I'm done with it. But yeah,
Yeah, that's why mine is in a
you're
separate
gonna have
room.
to
It's
send me that.
completely.
And like Kevin's saying, the coconut oil, because that's the secret sauce to.
Oh well, yeah. Well, the Great Northern, the packets they come with it.
Oh,
So
do?
they come
Yeah,
with
you
the
can
salt.
buy.
They
Yeah,
come with the popcorn,
the
and they come with
popcorn
the
and
coconut
everything.
Oh
oil.
man, you guys are gonna have to get me down this popcorn movie. Then Jessica will probably be like, "Hey, we need to watch another movie," just so she can have me cook up some popcorn.
So wait, for me, the popcorn room is across from the theater. And now, yeah, tomorrow I'll shoot a B-roll for it, but it's across the room. Look, my bass is good, but my bass ain't that good. It's not. I'm not Scott Newby, so I'm not able to.
Yeah, you know what? I feel bad because in my time, I've experienced 180 decibels of bass, so but man, for a home, that is like he said, he's trying to get technically he probably is world record, right now, unless someone else can attest to a higher dB. That is world record in a home. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Okay, I'm watching this. Let's hold on. Let's make this center action here. Yeah, there you go. Sorry.
So this will show you how much I use my popcorn machine. It's like
Yeah,
right next to my living
Wait,
room.
you still have a sticker, or is that you have to leave that
No,
warning?
you got it. That's like the caution stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is just probably across the. Everything is probably the oil is already congealed. Like
I mean, that's not too big. I don't know. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be too bad.
so you can take it off the wheels, right? And just
Yeah.
as a tabletop.
Oh,
Get designed that way, right? The wheel is optional.
Oh, gotcha. But I
Yeah,
thought
let me show you the popcorn pack. We're gonna go into my pantry, which is
Yeah,
a
be
mess.
careful.
So don't mind my pantry. So
Be careful
We
swinging that camera around.
this is the packet of the Great Northern.
Yeah, I have exactly the same one. So you can see it has the oil and the salt.
Oh, gotcha. It's all.
But I bought a separate oil though that I use. I
Yeah, and then
prefer-
you got the Flavor Coast salt right here if you want to use that salt.
Yep. I use flavor.
And then you got the big jug of butter. Now this is the movie movie theater popcorn butter.
Man,
It's
you got everything
snappy.
I got, but you got exactly the same.
Snappy burst
I
butter.
need to get all this stuff.
Yep. Yeah. No, I did a lot of research on popcorn.
Well, I have not, because I'm like, man, but I need to because that's oh shoot, we lost him.
No, I think he's connecting back. So,
Oh, gotcha.
dude, you got to give us heads up before you
You're gonna have to
disconnect.
send
man.
me some links
Jeez.
so I can order my machine, my popcorn, and my oil.
Dude, just check Facebook Marketplace for those machines. Don't buy a brand new one. Like we searched on Facebook Marketplace, and we found this a lady who was selling hers. It was completely unused. We bought it for like, geez, probably like
Well,
It's
shit.
like-
How much
it
are
was-
these things? Like
it was
several
like
$1,000s?
no, but I'm just saying, check
Your
Facebook
mic
Marketplace.
muted
A lot
still,
of people buy it. A lot of people buy it and don't use it. Don, you're muted.
You're muted.
Says I can't unmute you, Don. You got to unmute yourself.
Sorry, there's one that starts with a P that's really good. That's what all the movie theaters use. I'd have to look them
For
up.
the
and see.
oil or for
the actual
the
machine
flavor call?
itself.
Oh,
The
All right,
machine.
we're gonna have to
itself.
do some research and put a list together. Andy.
Yeah, I have a whole link, a Facebook link of nothing but popcorn stuff.
I
so
gotta
can
check which
probably
one
send
I
it to you.
use. I don't know what the brand of mine is. I
I'm
don't
gonna have to
remember.
look it up because hey, that's because I've done it all with non-commercial branded stuff. You know, I air pop my kernels, and then I use a different oil, and then I actually hand do butter. So I'll melt butter separately.
That
on
snappy butter is exactly movie theater butter. That's
Wow.
exactly what they use.
And that's an oil. That snappy butter's an oil.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, but I do the oil and the butter, but the snappy butter is what, yeah, I'll have to get that. I'll have to do that.
Yeah, I'll have to find the post. I saved the post for
And I've heard about the coconut oil a
Mhm.
lot, and I want to do. I've not done that. I've popped it in several kinds of oils, but I've not done the coconut oil, and that's what I think I need to do. Well, you'll have to send me that in the home theater Facebook.
Yeah, just send it in the text.
Yeah,
the group.
send it in the Facebook group, man.
Ain't nobody trying to read all that. Paul.
it
Yeah.
says forget the AV equipment. This is the most important comparison.
Dude, honestly, that is, dude, I have lights, even though people are like, oh, that ruins your whole thing. You sure you're playing?
Hey, Michael, thank you so much. We appreciate you and everyone that continues to watch the show and join us
Yeah.
every week.
Oh, Raleigh, North Carolina. One of my best friends lives in Raleigh. Yep, he's I've been to Raleigh a couple times. They have some good breweries there too. So Charlie asked, what app do I use for playing my rips? So for my rips, I use a Zadoo, to be frank, unless it's like a TV series where it's like I don't care about the compression per se, where Apple will play it natively. I use Plex because I have a Plex pass as well, so I have Plex. So if I'm doing that, I'll watch it on Plex on the Apple TV. But if it's like a higher end, like a DTS HD or a Dolby Atmos, I'll use the Zadoo is what I use. So
Lou Anner. Hey, what's up, Shane? Thanks for joining us.
Lou Anna is the official. Okay.
oh, see,
I thought
there
that
you
was
go.
the snappy
See,
butter.
you lied to me, Don. No.
I was told that the snappy butter is what. Well,
You know
he
what?
said
I guess it depends on
if you
or
say
is it-
AMC, right? So maybe that's the
Yeah,
AM.
this
That's
might
the
be for AMC,
but
right?
yeah, I do. There's theaters. There's more theaters than AMC. Yeah. What's the other? Warenberg. There's Well, now it's Warenberg. I don't know that Warenberg uses the same. They might use the same stuff, but sure, it's all the same. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I did like the roast. The roast. That's what
Hey,
that was
Michael.
my favorite.
You're welcome, man. Let's schedule something.
Yeah,
Come give us a
absolutely.
tour.
I just put the banner up here so that you can grab our
Yeah,
email
just-
address.
Yeah,
It's
let's
Home Theater Hub
do
Live at
something.
gmail.com. Send us an email so that we can get you scheduled. Right now I think we're pretty open. We haven't scheduled anybody for the new year yet. So if you have time, you can come on next week if you want to. So just shoot us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com, and then we'll get you set up.
Okay, now I'm gonna get the Luana. I'm gonna take Shane's word for it and try it.
There's a couple different people. Couple different people have swear by like some of these bags that are already put together. There's
Yeah,
the
like the combo.
mega pop popcorn.
I've had that before.
And then the one that I've seen the most is the Great Northern, though, the one that I showed you the pack of.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Now, when you say pre-made, are you talking like
Pre-combo. They already mixed
Pre-combo
everything.
together.
combo?
They already put the oil, so for the popcorn, they already put the right quantity of oil and salt, and you basically just open and empty it.
Into a fryer or
into your fryer popcorn machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never use all the salt they put in those packs, man. Those things turns out
Yeah,
just
the
way too
Flavor Co
salt.
salt. Oh my god! If you put too much of that, salt.
Yeah.
Shoo. Yeah.
See, that's what we need. We need
Put
to.
half of whatever you think you need. That's my
Well,
recommendation.
I'm a salt, but at the same time, yeah, I've made the mistake. I'll like for my steaks, I'll just literally cover them with salt to break down the tissue and let them sit out for a while.
Yeah, but that's what you're supposed to do with steak.
But I've forgotten to wipe it off, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's even salty for me. And I'm
if you've ever been to a Brazilian rodizio, that's the only thing they flavor their steaks with.
Yeah,
that's all I do with my steaks too. Salt,
use it to
salt and pepper. Yeah. I do pepper though as well. But yeah, we'll have to add a list to that to our little Facebook. Draft House. Oh yeah, I know Draft House. There's a Draft House KC actually. Unless that's a different Draft House, which could be different.
Oh, so Michael says Shane did a roast of his theater not too long ago.
Yeah, that's dude. I like that. Maybe some people got a little bit hurt, but to me, that was the more like, hey, we're just having a good time with this,
right?
Because everybody talks about this is the best, blah 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 blah. And a roasting thing, I was like, oh, okay, that's that.
You can't have Monolith anything if Shane's roasting your theater, though.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to see my theater anytime soon.
You can't have Monolith anything.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all I got is Trinov and Perlis, and no, it's like, yeah, I got the cheap stuff, man. I don't have that expensive stuff.
No, it's I did enjoy that. Him and Don Dunn. Don Dunn's a pretty funny guy too. So
yeah, for sure.
They would get on there. But all right. Well, look, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up this evening. We thank you everyone for joining. Wishing everyone a happy new year, and I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas with loved ones, shared time with family. We will be back on. Are we going to do the day after New Year's, or you got any plans, Ike?
We can do the day after New Year's.
Okay. Yeah, so that
works for me if you guys are available. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channels, Ike's channel, Easy HC Tech, and my channel, Horizon Home Theater. And once again, if you'd like to be a guest on the show,
please shoot us an email at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. And we'd love to have you. Until next week, we appreciate everyone joining. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.
Go watch a movie.
What about a TV show?
Yeah, do that too.
Okay.
Don't just listen to demo tracks. That's why.